Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. How?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Your computer has virus.
All week long.
Jurisdiction. I like the way that you wrote that. All rise, order in the court. It's time for We Got a Case, and we have a young lady that is in jail, and I think that everybody's on mute.
That's all right. We're not.
We got a second. No, we're not. So we got her. See what's happening with her, but also you've got Knox County ready to go, right?
Got Knox County from just a few minutes ago, ready to go, and we're done over here. Is that her attorney up there? I wonder, Mr. Porter.
Will Porter. Not sure. Not sure. Good to see everybody jumping in. Oh, by the way, Fannin County Jail Judge Lauren Blake.
Lauren J. Blake.
You even know her?
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Sergeant.
Okay, we're going to turn our attention back to
Timing. Fire cap.
Miss Savage's case. And this is cause number CR 22-28509. And Miss Bruce LeBron, have you had the time you needed to conference with your client?
I have, Your Honor, and she wishes to proceed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I had you hard muted.
I have, Your Honor, and she wishes to proceed today.
Okay. All right. And so, Ms. Savage, you understand that the court is of the opinion that you guys have reached an agreement in your case. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's get some information from you. I know we've had some hearings recently, but I want the most current. Remind me how old you are.
I'm 19.
Oh,
And how far have you gone in school?
8th grade.
Can you remind me why you didn't go past 8th grade again?
I've been to pretty much every school and I was getting bullied really bad and I had a lot of mental health issues going on. So I ended up being pulled out and I had tried to proceed to do online schooling and had failed.
Oh, just failed.
Okay,
Texas,
do you know how to read and write?
Fannin County.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you receiving any treatment for your mental health issues at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of treatment are you receiving?
Antidepressants, and then I take an anti-anxiety pill that also helps with my blood pressure. And then I think that's pretty much it for now. When I get out, I do plan on seeking more treatment for my mental health, probably getting into some counseling as well.
Less drugs, probably.
Get back into school,
All right.
maybe.
And are you taking these medications as prescribed?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they're helping?
Yes.
Is this medication that you were on prior to entering jail?
No. I was on no medication when I came into jail.
Sad looking.
Do you think there's any difference in the way you think and feel when you're on medicine and not on medicine?
Yes.
Okay, and explain that for me.
I mentally feel foggy when I'm not on antidepressants, a lack of will to want to get out of bed or to want to go do things. Now that I've been taking medication, I feel more like going to do things. I actively attend rec. When I first got here, I was very depressed. I did not do those things. I've got into reading here. Those were all things that I haven't been doing in the.
Hey, got to give the judge credit for.
Okay, so you're starting to see that there might be
an investment into somebody's mental health, you know.
Okay. Have you had the ability to visit with your attorney about your legal rights in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you have a good understanding of your legal rights as she has explained them to you?
Yes.
Have you also been able to tell her the facts of your case from your point of view, as well as your desire in the outcome of the case?
Yes.
And is there anything about your mental health issues or the medications that make it so you don't understand what you're doing today?
No.
Counsel, do you believe your client is competent to stand trial at this time?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Savage, let's turn your attention to the charge.
Let's. What did you do, you little girl?
I mean, it can't be
I'm
nothing
going to
too
screen
bad.
share this so you can see it as well.
Okay.
The indictment alleges the offense of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, in the amount of 4 grams or more, but less than 200 grams. This is a felony of the 2nd degree.
Yes.
First, do you understand what the state's saying you did?
Yes, ma'am.
And secondly, do you understand the range of punishment in this case?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about the charge or the range of punishment?
No, ma'am.
To this charge, how do you plead? Guilty or not
Long
guilty?
list there.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are afraid or because you were persuaded to do so or someone talked you into it?
No, ma'am.
Has
Jay?
anyone threatened you, forced you, or done anything unlawful or mean or nasty to make you plead guilty in this case?
Might be serious.
Nasty.
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you an early release from any sentence?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty then
Right.
because you committed the crime and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Cloud called it.
I'm going to show you the document entitled plea agreement. So we're going to screen share again.
Anybody find her on Facebook yet?
Do you see the document?
Yes.
Is this the one you went over with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the information in the paperwork for me?
No, ma'am.
On pages 5 and 7, there are places that purport to bear your signatures. I'm showing these to you. Are these yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful
And are you
handwriting.
asking that I accept your signatures to mean that you do in fact understand all the information in the paperwork?
Yes,
She's
ma'am.
got a neck tattoo.
Counsel, do you believe our client understands these admonitions?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Savage, I will sign accepting your signatures for what they mean. Let me ask you specifically, when you signed the paperwork, did you realize you were giving up your ability to have a jury resolve this case for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you also understand you're giving up the other legal rights mentioned in the paperwork, including your right to appeal the case?
More wood paneling
Yes,
in
ma'am.
court.
Counsel, do you believe go ahead.
I understand that this is me pleading guilty and that there's no way around this or coming back to this.
Okay. Counsel, do you believe your client understands the nature and consequence of her plea of guilty?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Savage, I'm going to find that you're presently competent to stand trial and that you're not influenced by anyone begging you, scaring you, or sweet talking you. But instead, it's my opinion you're doing this of your choosing. And I'm going to accept your plea of guilty in this case. What
Jacob
would
the
the facts show
carpetbagger
if the
slash
state were to call
Will.
witnesses, Mr. Porter?
Your Honor, the facts would show on July 29th, 2022, officers from the Bonham Police Departments working patrol on the 1200 block of Center. They observed a vehicle traveling 54 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone. It also did not have an operational front license plate.
Mm.
Officers pulled the vehicle over, identified the driver as a Kiara Savage from her Idaho light driver's license. They also observed 2 other passengers. They observed Ms. Savage making furtive movements, and she was arguing with the other individuals inside. Officers could smell the distinct odor of marijuana. At that time, he asked the individuals to exit the vehicle.
That's a look of somebody very
Asked
guilty.
Ms. Savage,
Face.
told Ms. Savage that he could smell marijuana and asked her how much was inside. She initially denied having marijuana, but then she stated that she didn't know of any inside.
Hello, Nancy.
At that time, he advised her that he'd be searching the vehicle based on the probable cause that he had. He searched the vehicle. They found a baggie of a small green leafy substance
There's a lot of
that
states
one
that,
of
that
the
require
passengers
crime.
identified as marijuana.
For some reason.
They
Chia.
Searched the front passenger area and located 2 syringes between the
Oh.
front seat and the center console.
She's shooting.
And then located a small black and blue Smith & Wesson 9mm in the front seat.
Got it all, baby.
This girl?
Well, she was with other people, but
They also found a black plastic case. Inside the case were several clear baggies that contained a white crystal substance that appeared to be methamphetamine. Officers searched the driver area of the vehicle, located a makeup bag. On the floorboard, there were 2 syringes loaded with a clear liquid.
oh yeah, Nancy
Cocaine.
15
There were also
bucks.
clear plastic
Down
bags.
to the
as
ground,
well.
cocaine.
At that time, Ms. Savage was placed under arrest. The officer then read her Miranda warnings. She waived the right to remain silent, stated that she had purchased about 9 grams of methamphetamine in Colorado and brought it to Bonham to sell for travel money. At that time, the officer transported her to the Fannin County Sheriff's Office. The aggregate weight of all the substances found in the vehicle was 16.1 grams.
So she's gonna do a little time.
The substance was
60.1
field tested,
grams.
field
That
tested
seems like a
positive.
lot.
I think
Methamphetamine
it is.
was then sent to the crime lab, where it was confirmed to be methamphetamine, and the official weight was 5.36 grams.
And she's going to sell it for
Anything that
traveling
you would
money.
offer in the way of clarification of those facts on behalf of your client, Ms. Bruce LeBron?
No, Your Honor.
State's recommendation.
State's recommendation is 5 years deferred adjudication probation, a $750 fine, and $180 restitution to be paid to the crime lab.
Right, Ms. Bruce LeBron, is this your understanding?
It is, Your Honor.
And Ms. Savage, is this your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and Mr. Porter, can you remind me who the passenger was again, the co-defendant, boyfriend?
Mason Durham is his name, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, say again.
Mason Durham, Durham.
There's also a Jada Durham.
That's correct. I couldn't think of her first name. Thank you, Mr. Porter.
They going with
All right, thank you.
a brother and sister team?
All right, and then Ms. Savage, this is your understanding of what's expected, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the court's going to follow the agreement. The court's going to find that the evidence substantiates your plea, but I'll defer any finding of guilt and place you on probation for a period of 5 years. There'll be a variety of conditions. One is the fine and the restitution that have already been discussed. There are other conditions of probation, and we're going to
Yeah, Rick, that your daughter? Or?
address these
Relative?
with the probation department. You'll go over them with them at the conclusion
Jennifer.
of being released and after this hearing, and you'll go straight there. That'll be the first thing you need to do.
That's all his fault.
Once you have gone over your conditions of probation with them,
She's just trying to
then you'll
make
be obligated
friends.
to, of course, follow them. Now that I'm thinking about it, the court's really looking at maybe Bowie Women's Shelter.
Baba
And so we need
Bowie.
to consider that. So they will come over
Baba
and visit
Bowie.
with you about the conditions. You'll need to make good choices. You've just got a lot on your plate. It looks like you're making the right steps towards progress, but there's just a whole bunch of work you got to
I will
do.
look
and You
at it.
can't do
Thank
that
you,
when you
Chris.
don't have all the support that you need when you're younger. For somebody to not be graduating and they're in 8th grade and have all the other issues, a lot of it, there's a lot of mental health that goes with that
She didn't
component.
graduate middle
So
school.
we'll look at what's appropriate.
Right.
Like I said, we're looking at that treatment. It's going to be not just about substance abuse. It's going to be about getting your education. It's going to be about developing skills, but all that's going to be in a secure facility. I say secure. The goal is for you to get this very intensive support now. And hopefully then when you get released, we can consider having you in possibly going back to Idaho, but not without all this
Idaho?
to support you until we know that you have what you need. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So I know it's not what you were looking for to begin with, because everybody wants to get out of jail, but we need you to be working on these issues, and your family cannot afford the kind of treatment that Bowie Women's Shelter will have.
I have a question.
Yes.
So are you saying that I will be going to the Open Arms Homeless Shelter?
No, we're going to do the Bowie Women's Center, and it's a
Bowie.
treatment.
Okay,
Griggsy, she in the beginning was
But
very
make-
nice
just
about her
make
mental
sure
health,
you're
so-
actually taking advantage of this opportunity, right? This is the best, some of the best treatment there is. And
She's
not
only
just gonna send her to
19.
the-
Now, nobody wants
give
to
her
be
jail
locked
time and
down
then
or
send her
wants to be
there?
in a place like this, because there's actually not, it's not all locked down. But if you escape, right, or leave unauthorized, the local jurisdiction, it's my understanding that judge only gives the max.
Or is she going straight?
So
Oh, wow.
you don't want to
You hear that shit, girl?
leave unauthorized. You want to work the program, and your family can't afford that program. In fact, your mom couldn't finish raising you. Your grandparents couldn't make sure you graduated. I mean, they didn't
A
have
lot of
support to make sure
problems.
those things happened.
Yeah, Kay's
Here,
right,
there are
219.
trained professionals who should be helping you with all the things that you need so you can get started more successfully in life, right? You're behind the 8 ball in some areas because of the addiction,
Literally behind
who
the
are
8
not
ball.
good for you because of low self-esteem because you weren't given the support you needed and you didn't get past 8th grade. So we want you to be successful. Okay? This is an investment in your future. Think of it that way. Okay?
Talk with your physical therapy.
other
And thank you, Farmer
questions?
Chad.
She got
So
some
am I
questions.
gonna be transported there? Am I expected to get out and go there?
No, they're going to transport you because we know that you're going to need that support. So I'm going to have a transport status. So that means that I will be reviewing and making sure all the paperwork's done, and we'll hear how many days before you get transported. You may already get transported before I have my status. My status hearing is in December 2nd, 2022 at 1
I think in
p.m.
this case, that's good. If she goes, that they don't play around there. You get out, you mess around,
All right.
max.
Probation will go over these conditions.
I mean,
with
The
you, though.
max. Yeah, they're going to hit
Your
her
service
hard
you
if
can already be
she
working on
doesn't
when you
finish
get
it.
there. Your GED, those are things I want you working on, okay? All right. I'll see you at the status hearing. It'll be sometime after you're released.
Your
All
Honor,
right,
can I
good
make a
luck.
brief record?
Yes,
Ms. Savage,
Yes,
you and I discussed all the ways that your case could be resolved, fair to say.
yes, ma'am.
And we discussed all of your life circumstances and your circumstances regarding Mr. Durham and how you came to be in this mess, fair to say.
Yes, ma'am.
I also disclosed to you this morning something that I learned this morning, which is one of the officers in your case, the one that you initially
See you
confessed to about your involvement in this, has been let go for some improper doings in his line of work. You understand that, correct?
What?
Yes, ma'am.
You did not feel pressured when you spoke with him in any way. Is that fair to say?
She could get this thrown out.
And knowing all that information, it was your desire to go ahead and proceed today. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the representation I've provided you in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've kept in mind what I've told
Nancy.
you about deferred, that it's a really,
bones.
really big reward at the end, but you've got a huge hammer hanging over your head with this big
Nancy.
range of punishment if you
Hey,
mess
Nancy.
up. Fair to say?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have, Judge.
So there was a cop.
Ms. Savage.
dealt with her
this
case that
might not look
is-
like a golden opportunity, but there's some good things that are going to come out of it if you'll just
Been
trust
kicked
the
out.
process, okay?
Mhm.
No, I understand.
Okay. Just believe that you're worth it, but
Hate to say
only
it,
you
I
can
believe
do
the
this.
girl a
I
little
know
bit.
that you're capable of it. You're a
I
smart
believe
young
her
woman.
son.
I may be
But
bamboozled.
you'll just have to put your shoulder to the grindstone and actually do the work. And if you'll do that, you're going to be successful. And then you're going to be more proud of yourself and your esteem is going to go up. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you at the probation status. Okay. All right. We'll have you go back to the holding. Thank you, ma'am.
I mean, typically, don't you get
And
like
we
if
can have
there's
Miss
a
Fuller next, please, Miss Fuller.
bad cop involved in cases, they end up throwing out the cases that he was involved in?
I would think that's kind of a typical thing, but
But I mean, she needs help. She needs to
she
go
does.
and get help,
she does, and
regardless.
that's probably why the lawyer did that. Maybe I don't know. She does. She's got the mental thing going on. And she's obviously got an issue with at least people that she hangs
I mean,
around with.
her mother sound like her mother abandoning her, and she doesn't. Her grandparents couldn't handle her.
Golf and guns. She had a lot. She had pretty much everything you could imagine. She had the meth, the green leafy substance.
She had a pew pew.
Syringes with clear liquid in it.
Didn't had some crystal light that she was gonna mix into a drink later on.
I really do. I felt bad for her a little bit. Although I gotta give this judge credit. She did make it. It felt as if she cared a bit.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see.
Yeah, and asking about the mental health thing, and Yeah, I would think that even a public defender could get that thrown out very quickly. But I think that there was some communication with the family. I think the judge knows the family or has talked to the.
It seems like the family's probably, especially if it's
for
just her grandparents, they probably don't have the money to send her to rehab. This was probably a great way. They pleaded it to the way they did, like this, like Grisby said, look, we're going to go ahead and help this girl out, get her into treatment that she wouldn't get into if the case was thrown out or something like that.
She did mention that a couple of times, that there's no way that your family could pay for this. Another
Wayward girl.
You want to watch this one too?
Let's stick with this for right now. I like how they're doing things. Will Porter really
All right, so just
changed.
bear with us.
Will
Just
looks so
just one moment.
Damn, Will.
That's a true savage. Some of these people do need help. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
There's people that are bad and they're just bad. And there's people that need some sort of help, like the people over at Tinder.
Yes. She did have quite a rap sheet, though. We'll say that. It's not her first go around, though. So there's that, too.
I mean, the very first thing when you hear she didn't even complete the 8th grade.
Yeah,
What else are you going to get into but selling some sort of drugs for travel money? I mean,
the day, Marky.
marking my calendar, marking my calendar. Definitely not a.
Oh
good
shit!
deal.
Look at Chris doing some the Lord's work. Cop was fired for pulling over his ex-wife and charging her with trespassing back in June. That's what it looks like. Damn.
I mean, that's never good. I mean,
All right, there it is. Thank you, Chris. A former police officer who was indicted for official oppression last month turned himself in Friday morning. Officials said back in January. Officer Bill Kennedy. Holy shit.
all right, this is Billy Kennedy. Pull it over. Yep, that's a pin. Thank you, Sean J. Hazelton, Esquire.
I wonder if she goes through that program if they let her out with the charges basically dropped or not.
I think she said she'd be on 5 years probation. So I mean,
Oh, that's not bad.
but if she does not complete that,
Just
she
one
will be
moment.
hit with the maximum.
That and if she leaves or whatever, yes, so that judge don't play. I love that. Going in there like that, give everybody a heads up about that. If you F up, you don't take this program seriously, you try to run away, any of that, you're gonna get hit with the max. There's nothing about it, you know. Love that.
She can't hear you.
You're on mute, Judge.
Get your guesses in what this young lady did. She seems like a nice girl just by looking at her. She doesn't look all messed up. Her hair's very neat, tidy.
Stopped his ex-wife while he was in uniform and in a police car at the local Walmart and tried to serve her with criminal trespass. The chief said, "Oh my God. Hey, yeah, it don't matter. That's enough to get shit thrown out, I would think."
I knew a cop who used to, even when he'd get off work and, you got to take the squad car home with him. He'd pull people over on the bypass if he saw like a cute girl and he just wanted to talk to her.
Oh, no shit.
So,
I think she knows this. We've watched a little bit of her today, earlier, and this is she does a lot off the record. I think
maybe we have a witness or something that's going to be speaking on her behalf here in a minute.
I see. I'd like that if you're going into a treatment center like that. I like knowing that's just how it's going to be. You screw up, that's what you get.
I feel like some of these treatment centers need to be a little more strict on keeping these people in, not making it so easy for them just to walk out the front door.
Loud says meth, he's thinking, and Alan's thinking stalking. Oh no.
She must say she's got an alcohol problem, but we'll never find out.
Oh, yes, we will. Look, it's there. Well, maybe they cut it.
Yeah, it's not going to play.
We're only 9 minutes behind. Damn. All right. Well, that sucks. Oh, that's it. Yeah, we got a case. No, just kidding. We've got to go over to Knox, right? You said?
Yeah, and the Knox County, Tennessee.
Oh, he's a good-looking dude. I'll BRB, by the way.
What's your
Mouth
name?
breather.
James Mountcastle.
Hey, James.
Sorry, I asked you that, didn't I?
Is that their mouse on his eye or yours? Okay.
Yeah, that's theirs because their starting transcripts will be
All
playing
right,
on the side there.
broadcast just came up. I'm going to ask you again. What's your name?
James Mountcastle.
Oh, I like that. I like the transcripts.
Yeah. So if we miss something or don't understand it,
Mr. Mountcastle, you've been charged with criminal trespass. That'd be a Class C misdemeanor convicted. And you're being released on that. So it's not holding you in jail. You actually have a hold for Bradley County, and that's what's holding you in jail. And as a condition of that release, you stay off the premises of Point Church. You understand what's going on?
I do.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
No, I'm good.
Okay. If you cannot afford an attorney, I can appoint
Nancy.
one. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, if I need one.
Okay, I need to ask you some questions so I know to make sure you qualify as well as to set. Actually, I'm not setting your bond. Just see if you qualify for an attorney. So you raise your right hand and be sworn in. This is
He's
the
having
uniform
issues with
affidavit of
closing his
indigency
mouth.
that you filled out of the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form and your testimony you give is true and accurate.
True and accurate?
Thank you. You have a job?
No, sir.
Any property, a house or car that you own?
No.
The other forms of
College?
income or of assets?
No.
no income, no assets, no nothing. He's definitely got a look. They picked him up at the church house. He's got a weird look about him. He's got a wide stance, a lot of mouth
I'm
breathing.
appoint the district public defender to represent you. There is a $50 fee for the appointment of counsel.
$50, really?
That needs to be paid in general session court clerk's office on or before November the 9th. If you are unable to pay by that time, they'll add your court costs at the conclusion of the case. And the number of the public defender's office to jail, try and get a hold of them to discuss your case. Do you want me to set this for this coming Monday for status so that they can see if they want a hearing, they can set a hearing at that time? Or I can set it a month out.
It's whatever you think would be best. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here before Bradley County comes and gets me here.
Preliminary hearing.
I need to be here for that.
And if Bradley County comes and gets you, the other thing is you could get a failure to appear if you're still in their custody.
Yeah.
He's planning on
That's what
being
I'm
there for
thinking.
Thanksgiving and stuff. He's not going
I'll
anywhere
be
for the
down there a
holidays.
minute, I'm sure.
Why don't I just go ahead and set this for Monday then?
Okay.
9 days.
Make sure you get a hold of PD, the public defender, and tell them that you might get picked up by Bradley County so you don't get a failure to appear if they do.
Okay.
And I'm going to set that in misdemeanor court.
Right.
That's all I have for you.
Seems like I said, this guy, he does not mind being there. Oh, this guy.
What's your name?
Hunter McCoy.
Part of the Hatfields and McCoys. This guy's got hair to spare.
Mr. McCoy, you've been charged with the manufacture, delivery, sale, or possession with intent to manufacture, deliver, or sell marijuana, or a Schedule 6 controlled substance, I should say.
This guy never.
That would be a Class E felony if convicted. You've also been charged with evading arrest in a motor vehicle. That'd also be a Class E felony if convicted. And finally, you've been charged with possession of a firearm with intent to go armed during the commission of a dangerous felony. That would be a Class D felony if convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
Yes, sir.
I'd ask you some questions on oath to make sure you qualify, as well as to set your bond. So you raise your right hand and be sworn in.
He plays drums. He's
This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, your testimony you give is true and accurate?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have a job?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Culligan of Knoxville. It's a water filter repair specialist company.
Oh, a water filter
much do you make?
repair.
About 60,000 a year.
60,000 a year.
Yeah,
Ooh, good for you.
give or take. Like 5,000.
Give or take
'Cause I'm, like, on
5,000.
call, so it's like kind of depends on like extra commission and stuff like that.
Any property, a house or car that you own?
I rent an apartment. That's it. I don't really own any property.
Okay. You live in Knoxville?
Yeah.
How long you lived here?
I've lived in Maryville since I was like 6, and then I moved to Knoxville like last year, just because it's closer to my work.
Okay. My dude's doing pretty well for himself, but he's busy manufacturing the weed. I mean, that haircut alone is going to get him pulled over. He is quite the.
How long did you say you lived here?
About a year. In Knoxville. I've lived in Alcoa and Maryville since I was like 6.
They could have gave him a better shirt.
Actually, probably not even a year. I probably lived here. Actually, I was lived in Alcoa. I lived here like 4 months, but like I was living on Alcoa Highway, which is like really close to South Knoxville. But I mean, in like actual Knoxville, it's like been like 3-4 months.
Is that where you're from? Is Blount County?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Alaska, but I've lived in Blount County since I was 6.
Okay. You have family here, there?
My dad lives in Alaska. My grandma lives in Oregon, but my mom's family, I don't really talk to them. They live down here, but I just don't really associate with them.
Okay. And is there
By
anybody
choice.
that vouch for your liability to show up in court?
What's that mean?
Basically, that they would come and tell us that you're responsible and you're coming to court.
Oh, like you, like someone that I could have do that for me?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a supervisor or something like that?
Whoever you want. It's however you want to answer it. I'm not.
Yeah.
At 60K and you're still selling drugs?
Who would that be?
Maybe it was personal use.
What I'm going to do on the 2E felonies, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000 each. So that's $2,000 total. And on the D felony, that's the firearm case. I'm going to set it at $3,000. So it'll be $5,000 total for your bond. The way that works is that's an appearance bond. So you would go through a bonding company and you have to pay 10% of that, which is $500 plus this.
I have A1 bonding talking to my people right now.
So,
hopefully, like,
Oh, his
I mean, they know
people.
I'm getting arraigned right now, I'm assuming. So
He's got
Plus-
people.
Okay. So plus about $37 to get out.
okay.
I'm going to set this in court on Monday, October 31st for a bond review. So if you don't post the bond, they can consider reducing at that time. The judge can. If you do post it, they'll give you a different court date to go to when you're being released. Go to that one instead. And I believe that with you making $60,000, I don't think that you're indigent. You probably can't afford an attorney. I would like to give you an opportunity to look.
And I started working there like a year and a half ago, and I'm only 20 years old. So like, I haven't been able to really like reach like, I mean, I've spent like almost like 50% of my first year's salary like on rent and like my car and everything. So like, I mean, I've just been, but I mean, like, it's the money. Like, I have enough money for an attorney. I was just want to see like what it'd be like with a public defender, and like I can fire a public defender and hire an attorney like pre-trial, right, or post-trial.
I mean, if he's got like a $600 car payment,
Not
and a
recommended.
$1,200 rent.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to recommend or not recommend anything. What it is we can appoint one if you can't afford one. If you make $60,000 a year, you can probably afford one.
I just don't have one like in my phone right now. You know what I mean? So I just have to go find one first before like.
But if you are unable to secure an attorney, when you get to court, let the judge know. They can probably appoint one at that time.
Okay.
But for now, I'm going to find that you're non-indigent. And that's all I have for you.
Okay.
Thank you, Don Bag Daryl.
They'll give you a different court date when you're being released.
You see the
suspect you're gonna
giant
post that bond.
pot leaf on his
Go to that one. Don't-
tattooed on his
don't
arm. I
worry
think
about the one that I
he's in
gave
it
you.
for the long haul.
You said I get a different court date if I get released?
Yeah,
a
you'll
big
get a different
fan.
court date if you're released. Don't worry about the one I told. Don't come here on Halloween if you get released.
Don't come here on Halloween, Creed.
Mike, you want to jump to licking for a few seconds with
Yeah,
Judge
we'll stop
George?
right here.
They're live. We'll jump over
You have a
there.
right to an attorney. If you
Back
cannot
to
afford one, you can make an
Knoxville.
application for a court-appointed attorney. I have 2 complaints here charging you with complicity to theft and criminal trespass. Did you receive a copy of those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you need me to read those to you today?
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Maximum penalty for complicity is 180 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Maximum penalty for trespass is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. You have any question about those charges?
OR.
Yes, sir.
God
How
bless.
would you like to plead today?
Not guilty.
That's a serious part in his hair.
By the way, Walmart has new scanners at our Walmart, and I
Want
double
to say anything before I set your bond
things
today?
yesterday and felt like an idiot.
You live Robertson Drive?
But while leaving,
No, sir. I live
there were
out
two
here
other
in
people running over
Brownsville,
Walmart girls.
660,
Same thing.
10555.
All right, say that address again for me.
10555.
10555 Brownsville
Yeah.
Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that what's the city?
Glenford.
Real quick, while they're just talking about this, I want to tell you coming up today. Of course, we still got we got a chase. It's Thirsty Thursday, but also got something special for you that's kind of related to court cases because it happened in court. It's a WTF moment, and we're going to kind of learn after we see the initial video. Then we're going to dive a little deep into it and figure out what's going on with it. And I think, are we going to do that after the chase, or are we going to do that between? When did you want to do that?
We can do it after this.
All right.
No problem.
Okay, perfect. So we'll probably take a little break, just like we did between Voyeur and this, and then I want to do that. Won't take long.
You're the co-defendant with Mr. Compton.
One other thing, did you see the restaurant? I believe it was in Maryland, where they gave CPR to a woman that died in the restroom, and they never even closed down the restaurant. They just kept serving.
Well, it's like the strip club Bishop used to work at.
Right. yeah,
DJ
step
just
over-
dies in the DJ booth.
Right. Step
You
over
just
and keep the music going.
Step over him and keep the music going.
Okay, I'll release you on your recognizance today. If you need a court-appointed attorney, get that paperwork filed over here at the courthouse. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. We caught the last couple. Got a couple of.
Okay, as you heard me tell those folks, today's hearing is being recorded. Anything you say can be used against you in the future. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you can make an application today for court-appointed attorney. When I call your name, have a seat at the table there. We'll go over your charge and your plea, and then you need to go to the clerk's office. Do not leave today without checking out at the
Jump back
clerk's
to Knox
office.
where they're always.
As I said, you have a right to an attorney, you have a right to bail, and you have a right to jury trial. Any demand for jury trial must be made in writing.
Drew?
Next matter is 22 TRD 7278, State of Ohio versus Stephanie Mills.
Stephanie Mills, come on down.
Did you license your dog, Stephanie?
I think Stephanie was the one coughing in the courtroom. Get her out first.
Ms. Mills, you failed to appear for trial. What happened there?
Well, it's I don't have a vehicle anymore, so it's hard for me to get here. And
Okay.
I'm homeless.
Oh, you're here now.
Were you trying to get your license back? or-
Still have my
You
license.
still have your license, okay.
Yes, but
You just had an accident?
yeah.
Okay. All right, you want reset for trial? What do you want to do with this charge? It's just an assured clear distance violation.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I could say something, if you don't mind me speaking, that there is some wrong things written on this ticket that the police officer did give me.
That's not my name. I'm a
The
traveler.
license number that he wrote down is wrong. He also said that
Your license plate or your
or the
operator's
license plate
license?
number is wrong.
Okay,
He said I also had a passenger, which I
Technicalities.
did not.
okay.
It also says here that I had a total of 3 offenses within the last 12 months, which I have not. So I guess I don't understand why I'm even appearing for this.
Okay, I don't have that on my ticket.
Well, it is on this one.
Your
here.
appearance was required because you didn't have insurance, I think.
Okay. Well, I
Um,
mean,
But let me see here. I got your.
So you gonna try and fight this?
Yeah, you don't have any other tickets this year.
no.
Okay, so your ticket must look different than mine. What's your license plate number on that ticket?
It says JAN 2733.
Okay,
Blur
so
that
it's on this
out.
one.
That's not my license plate
Okay.
number.
All right. Is it a 99 Honda? Is that what the car was?
It is
Nice.
on, yes, but it's not the license plate
Okay.
number.
And then let's
He
see.
also said I was speeding, but he didn't write down how many miles per hour I was speeding and stuff. So.
Okay.
I mean, a little, that's why you
Sloppy.
should have. She didn't show up.
No,
That's what
it's
she's
not
here for,
speeding.
not
It's an
showing
assured
up.
clear distance violation.
Okay, well, which one is it? A show clear distance or?
If she would have showed up to court first time
He
with
doesn't
that
even have
stuff,
that on here. He has to operate
I
without
bet
proof
you
of financial
they would've-
responsibility.
Yeah,
So-
that's not a charge. That was dismissed because that's not actually a.
And that's the other thing that I wanted to say that when I looked on the case, it said the whole thing was dismissed.
No, it says that operating without proof of financial responsibility was.
That was dismissed.
Yeah. Because it's not an actual charge. There's no charge
Okay,
for
well,
that.
he also said, I mean, I'm gonna plead not guilty and take it to trial, I guess.
Okay.
Because,
All right. You want to say something before I set your bond today? And this is several times you haven't been to court here. I mean, I can't keep resetting the trial for you.
Right,
Can
I
they have their
understand.
witnesses come? You know?
Right.
Where do you live?
I'm homeless right now. I'm using my daughter's address.
Okay.
I am working, so.
You
I
get
do
mail
have a
you get
job.
mail at your daughter's?
Well, yes, I do get
Okay.
mail at my daughter's.
All right.
And I am
What's that
working.
address?
It is the 210 Cedar Street, lot 25.
Might have to lock her up, man.
Okay, that's what we have there. Okay.
How many
So you
failures
do
to
get your
appear
mail
we
in?
gonna give her?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Regardless of whether you get mail or not, you can check with the clerk or check online to find out when your
Gotta
trial
be a small
is,
ticket,
okay?
right?
Correct.
And you need to
Yeah,
make sure you're here
shouldn't be
next time I
much.
set this for your trial, okay?
Okay.
Because they got to call their witnesses in every time I set a
understand.
trial. And, puts a lot of people out. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
He's not so happy with it.
Next matter is 22 CRB 1661, State of Ohio versus Lisa Ryan.
So if she pled guilty, she probably would only have to pay that ticket.
Ms. Ryan, I have 2 complaints here charging you with theft and trespass. Did you receive a copy of those complaints?
Yeah, sure.
Do you need me to read those to you today?
The double T's.
Maximum penalty for theft is 180 days in jail, $1,000 fine. Maximum penalty for trespass is 30 days in jail, $250 fine.
Walmart, you think?
Question about those charges today?
Has to be.
How would
She's
you
done
like it
stole
please?
from there once.
That's quite a bit of paperwork there.
If she stole from Walmart, she's already been trespassed. That's where the trespasser again.
Hey, you Texas Tim?
Wish good noon.
Good point. Good point.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
That was easy.
She had
Next
nothing
matter
to say.
is 22 CRB 792, State of Ohio versus Chris Goins.
Take your time, Chris. No hurry.
Walking slow, you see that?
Take your time.
Mr. Goins, I have 4 tickets here.
Didn't even wait for him to get to the podium.
For 3 for failure to license a dog and 1 for failure to confine a dog. Did you receive those?
Sorry.
I have 3 tickets for failure to license a dog and 1 for failure to confine a dog. Did you receive a copy of those tickets?
Pit bulls.
Did you get cited for that? Okay. Maximum penalty for those charges is a $100 fine. There's a mandatory minimum penalty of a $25 fine on each of those. Any question about those today?
No.
Okay.
Luck paying
How
that.
would you like to plead?
What are my options?
Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Okay. You understand if the facts in the
are my
police report are
choices?
sufficient to convict you of those offenses, I'd find you guilty today.
That's fine.
You understand that? You understand by pleading no contest, you're giving up your right to have a trial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay that $50 worth of fines.
Yeah. You could have just said guilty and got the same thing. I don't know if I had that dog at the time, Your Honor.
I get yelled at by Emily whenever I call a dog a bitch.
What does it mean by no content?
It means you're not admitting guilt, you're agreeing to the facts in the complaint.
Just so you ask that
And so
before
if
you
those facts are
plead that.
sufficient to convict you of these offenses, I would find you guilty. Okay. Generally, it's people enter no contest pleas if there's a civil liability involved for a civil judgment or suit.
So like, what's civil liability?
If somebody were to sue you for your dog biting somebody or something like that. or if you got a traffic accident, those kind of things. That's when people generally
With
enter no
Dad?
contest pleas, but.
Dad.
But also when they just don't want to admit guilt, they admit the factual circumstances. Any other
Take it to
questions?
trial.
Trial, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Take it to trial.
Two $25 tickets, right?
Yeah. It might be 3. We'll see.
Jail costs in there.
Yeah, you can't get a public defender unless
Okay.
there's jail time
Good. So
on the table.
states that Shade, Royce, and Royale were not
Royale.
licensed on May 19th.
Shade, Royce, and Royale.
And Shade
Great dog names.
was not confined.
Anyway, they're not pit bulls. Royale. Never
Here's
met a
those
dog
facts.
named Shade.
I believe so.
Okay.
Royale
I wasn't
and,
home at the time.
You weren't home.
in
Okay.
Burger King speak means Big Mac, right?
Sure, we'll go with that. Royale with cheese.
Okay, I'll accept your no contest plea. Find you guilty.
Now, what does that mean?
Means I'll enter fines on these. I'm entering the minimum fines.
Did
and
he
court
watch the
costs.
other court case
It's
from the other day
$25
and
on
he's just getting asked questions about
He's
everything?
been in there through all of this, I would imagine.
Okay.
All right, you didn't confine your dog. What,
Any other
what's
questions today?
Confine.
What do you mean by that, Your Honor? No more questions.
Where do I go now?
Let's follow her.
Where do I go? That Jesus
Next matter is
Christ.
22 CRB
Somebody hold this
1693,
man's
State of
hand.
Ohio versus Mark Francis.
His mom does a lot for him.
My God.
Good afternoon, Mr. Francis. I have 2 complaints here charging you with resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. Did you receive a copy of those?
I didn't, I think I'm pretty sure I did.
Not
Okay,
joking.
I have copies here if you want.
If
Yeah,
you're fine, yeah, you're
okay.
fine, I believe I got it.
Okay. Do you need me to read that to you today?
No,
Those
sir.
Complaints. Maximum penalty for resisting is 90 days in jail, $750 fine. Maximum penalty for disorderly is 30 days in jail, $250 fine. Have any question about those charges?
No, sir, I thought it was just disorderly conduct.
There's a resisting charge as well.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know about that.
Okay. Any questions about that?
No, sir.
Okay. How would you like to plead today?
Plead not guilty.
Oh,
And you posted bond today?
Last night.
Okay. Last night?
disorderly
About 8:30
conduct.
or so last
Okay.
night.
All right. I'll continue bond as posted.
Yeah, and I'm on Social Security disability.
Okay.
And I'm having a lot of like mental issues going on, so I've been working with BHP.
Good.
And they have me on some meds, and I got an appointment in the morning to go over that. I think they're going to change the meds because it's not really doing what it's like the antidepressant and stuff, but it's not really working.
Okay.
So I would like to get a court-appointed attorney if
Okay.
possible.
Yeah. Fill up. Yeah. Then fill
I
out.
got it. I didn't know what all I had to fill out, so.
Okay, we need to fill that out completely, list what your income is and the people you live with and what their income is on there as well. If you have a spouse or a girlfriend or something, okay?
Yeah.
Just get that filled out and if you qualify, we'll point you.
Can
to
I
the-
take it and bring it back? Because I'm not sure exactly what she makes. I mean, like, what she, on her checks and stuff, I'm not sure what
Okay,
she
can you
makes.
give her a
so-
call?
We got
or-
separate bank
Yeah, I can
accounts.
call her.
Okay, yeah, well,
How
you
about
better
my
be getting it
buddy
filed today so we
I
can get you an
meet today,
attorney
hey, I'm never
quickly.
going,
if
I'm
you
not
qualify,
doing
okay?
that.
Okay.
All right, thank you. What's that? Okay.
I'm off my meds.
Judge George.
Yeah, he is not being friendly at all. Disorderly conduct, not me, Your Honor. No.
All right, back to Knox County.
Back again. Heading to Knox.
Heading to Knox. Oops, sorry.
No,
Guys in the truck are screwing up again.
that's all right. They're doing their best.
What's your name?
Jacob Turner.
I got ahead of me. myself. I'll be right with you.
Take your time.
Mr. Turner's in no hurry. He's going nowhere. I'm surprised we haven't seen the guy pop up in the first cell that likes to peep out at us.
No, but the second window over here, like level with me, has been looking out a few times, and it's freaking. But yeah, you're right. They're in 102.
Yeah, he likes to party. By the way, this is Knox County, Tennessee. Bond hearings. I'm gonna say he's DV. I'm going with DV.
I'm going with something.
Okay, Mr. Turner, you have been
bail.
charged with theft of property valued up to $1,000. That'd be a Class A misdemeanor if convicted. You have also been charged with criminal impersonation. That'd be a Class B misdemeanor if convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
No.
Okay, if you cannot afford an attorney, I can appoint one. Would you like me to do that? Okay, to ask you some questions on oath makes you qualify, as well as to set your bond, so you raise your right hand and be sworn in. This uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of the jail, you swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, any testimony you give is true and accurate?
Yes.
Thank you. You have a job?
No, sir.
A property, a house or car that you own?
No, sir.
Any other forms of income or of assets?
No.
You live in Knoxville?
Yep.
Say yes.
Yep.
Okay. How long you lived here?
Year.
Oh, so he's a flight risk.
And you have family here?
Yeah.
Where'd you live before that? Is that where you're from? What kind of family do you have here?
And,
Just a hot cousin.
Yeah, is there anybody that would vouch for your liability to show up in court?
I hope
Who would that be?
them.
Them who? He's thinking twice about this guy. He hasn't been there very long.
I love it when everybody gets quiet when you start looking into their file. All of a sudden, it's just quiet.
Okay, I'm going to set the bond on the theft at $1,000 and then on the criminal impersonation at $500. As a condition of that bond on the theft, should you post it, you're not to have any contact or communication with alleged victim. I'm actually not sure who that is. It's not listing it.
I was like, what's the victim? The person he stole something from, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's
who did he
Tammy
impersonate?
Warren is the name of the individual. And then I'm going to set this in misdemeanor court for a bond review on Monday. So if you are unable to post this bond, the judge can consider reducing at that time. If you do post it, they'll give you a different court date to go to when you're being released. Go to that one instead. And as soon as that's done printing out, I get you an attorney and a court date. I mean, an attorney. Sorry, give me a court date.
What are we running
I'm
in
going to
there?
appoint the district public defender to represent you. There is a $50 fee for the appointment of counsel. That needs to be paid in general session court clerk's office.
Phone, Sue, the phone.
Hello?
Sue?
On or before November 9th. Do you have an
I sure do.
may I have it? Okay, you also have an attachment.
Uh-oh.
That was issued in a theft case for failure to appear on October 24th of this year. and you have a $500 appearance bond pending resolution of that attachment. You understand what's going on there? And alrighty, then that's all that I have for you. I'm gonna set that one with the other ones then on Monday. With the same thing. I mean, if you bond out, you still don't have to go to that court date. That's all I have for you. Hey, officer, is Hunter McCoy still there?
Yeah, he went upstairs. I saw him a while ago.
He did.
Yeah.
That close, his cell?
How close is the cell?
Is it close by?
No,
I just want to see his pretty face one more time.
Is there any way I can talk to him after we're done?
Yeah, sure.
I left some stuff out when we're done with this defendant.
Uh-oh.
No problem.
I think I skipped over some things that I should have done.
Really? All right. I don't think you see that every day.
No,
A lot
he's,
going on when I came in. I think I'm still scatterbrained. Which
he
would
botched
like
it.
me.
He botched it.
Oh, damn.
Hunter's up in his cell just
What's your
singing.
name?
Come back down.
Yeah, what do you think? Is it which one? He needs more, or
Yeah, I think he's got more
which-
charges.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes jogging.
Just way over there.
Him, he was pumped.
Okay, Mr. Hill, you have 2 attachments that were issued on September 16th for failure to appear. The first was in a Schedule 2 drug case, and you have a
Ooh.
$5,000 principal bond for that attachment. And the second is in a Schedule 1 drug case, and you have a $7,500 appearance bond for that attachment. You understand what's going on there?
Yeah.
Some big
Looks
numbers.
like
you're
you've
talking.
also been charged with theft of merchandise valued up to $1,000. That'd be a Class A misdemeanor if convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Yeah.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
Yes.
Okay, if you cannot afford an attorney, I can appoint one. Would you like me to do that? Okay, I need to ask you some questions on oath, make sure you qualify, as well as to set your bond in that theft of merchandise case. So you raise your right hand and be sworn in. This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, the testimony you give is true and accurate. Thank you.
He's very sad looking.
You have a job.
Well, I did have a job. I probably ain't got one now.
Where were you working?
Today.
I was working at Cost Construction.
Making $600 a week.
Construction.
In property, a house or car that you own?
No.
The other forms of income or assets?
No.
That cop walked weird.
You live in Knoxville?
Yes.
How long you lived here?
He's got a cell phone in his ass.
You got family here?
He's delivering it.
Who would that be?
My mother and my fiance.
Is there anybody that would vouch for your liability to show up in court?
Oh, sure.
Probably not.
Maybe my mom and dad got a ride.
Okay.
But my fiance would.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond on the theft of merchandise at $750. As a condition of that bond, should you post it, you stay off the premises of all Knox County Walmart stores. I'm going to set these in felony court for Monday. That's October 31st for a bond
Knox County, they
review.
don't even sell
So that
anything.
if you
at
are
Walmart.
unable to post these bonds, the judge can consider reducing them at that time. If you do post them, they will give you a different court date to go to when you're being released. Go to that one instead.
Is there any way he can
It looks like you are represented by
figure out he's not good at stealing?
an attorney named Jason Merritt in those attachment cases. And I will appoint him to
Walmart ass.
this case, the new case as well. I'm going to waive the administrative fee that we normally assess for the appointment of counsel because it's already been assessed in the pending case. Mr. Merritt's telephone number is 770-4011. Try and get a hold of him prior to your court date, which if you don't post the bonds will be on Monday. And that's all I have for you.
Oh yeah, there he is at 102. He is. He's peeking up.
Oh, he is peeping.
Must be the last one to have nice A's.
Hello, sir.
Welcome back.
So I left some things out of your arraignment. Would you like me to read the allegations, what they're accusing you of doing?
Wait, sorry.
Would you like me to read the allegations, what they're accusing you of doing?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Here we go.
Let me finish filling out this paperwork. I also have to go over your rights. I don't think I did that.
He didn't expect him to say yes.
With it being a felony, we're required to.
I don't think this guy's ever used
Felony
drugs. I mean,
charge.
Dimebag Daryl here.
I know they were really trying to press the agenda that I was like a drug dealer. Like I already know they're accusing me of doing
Okay.
this.
Let me read it. It says this incident occurred on or about Tuesday, October 25th, 2022 at 8:42 p.m. at J.C. Penney's on 7600 Kingston Pike. On that date, time, and location, I, Officer Fisher, observed a dark gray Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT parked near J.C. Penney's. The vehicle matched the exact description of a vehicle that had fled from narcotics just a few days prior to this incident. Upon making contact with the vehicle, I observed the arrestee, Hunter McCoy, in the driver's seat, and Addison Beams, the victim, in the passenger seat. It says victim. There's no victim crime.
Okay.
But that's myself and other officers with the retail task force activated emergency equipment, boxed Hunter's vehicle in, and instruct Hunter to exit the vehicle. It was at this time Hunter made the conscious decision to refuse officers' instructions and speed off. A short pursuit ensued through the parking lot before the subject vehicle lost control and struck a curb with the front right tire, rendering the vehicle inoperable. Hunter exited the vehicle and fled on foot, but was located in bushes by KPD officers a short distance from his vehicle. A search of Hunter's person revealed him to be in possession of 28.17 grams of marijuana in his pockets. Officer Kyle Bothoff deployed his canine partner Dolly to perform an open-air sniff of Hunter's vehicle, which she positively alerted on. While searching the vehicle, officers located a large cache of U.S. currency, $4,615 in the center console, and 2 firearms in the back passenger floorboard. One firearm was a Glock 45 with an extended magazine, and the other was a Glock 19X. Both firearms had a round chambered. Due to the large amount of marijuana Hunter was in possession of, and the majority of the currency being in small denominations, Dolly to perform an open-air sniff of Hunter's vehicle, which she positively alerted on.
In his hand.
While searching the vehicle, officers located a large cache of U.S. currency, $4,615 in the center console, and 2 firearms in the back passenger floorboard. One firearm was a Glock 45 with an extended magazine, and the other was a Glock 19X. Both firearms had a round chambered. Due to the large amount of marijuana Hunter was in possession of, and the majority of the currency being in small denominations, I find it to be more probable than not for Hunter to be involved in the promotion and sale of illegal narcotics, leading me to seize the $4,615 in U.S. currency he was in possession of at the time. Hunter was placed into custody and transported to the detention facility. Detective Parton with the narcotics unit arrived on scene and took possession of the seized currency. The narcotics were placed in their narcotics locker, and the firearms were turned into property. Hunter's vehicle was towed to Sutherland Towing Impound Lot. This occurred in Knox County, Tennessee.
Will I be able to get the towing information for when I get out so I can?
Yeah, I think so. You talk to an attorney about trying to get that information. Let me go over some rights real fast since this is a new felony charge. So you have something that we have to go over at this time. First, that you have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to make any statements, and that you make voluntarily can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one, which I did not because I think that you can afford one. You have the right to a preliminary hearing as a probable cause hearing where the judge will hear the evidence against you and decide whether this case is strong enough to be bound over the grand jury for further prosecution. You understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Now we're finished. I just had to normally I do that with the other stuff. I just forgot.
You're good. So there wasn't an extra charge involved with what you just said?
No.
It was more just
Rockstar energy on his hand.
They think I'm a drug dealer pretty much.
Well, I just want to make sure you know what they're accusing you of doing.
You said what?
I don't have any stake in the case at all. I just want to make sure you're aware of what they're accusing.
Basically, that's on a record now, right?
I appreciate it though.
Is that?
Okay.
Or to make him aware fully of what they're saying is.
Yeah, because he did not say any of those charges.
No.
For the first time.
Wow.
Wow, that's.
All right, was old.
And acting like he had a puke
That it?
was kind of weird.
Alrighty. Have a good evening.
So they're thinking maybe autistic or something as far as that goes. Maybe.
I don't know about that, but he's definitely weird.
We're winding down because we're going to jump off of here in a minute and jump back on in a few more minutes. And we've got something that happened in a courtroom that Emily and I were just randomly watching videos last night on the Roku and ran across this. And we're like, so we invite you to come back. I don't think they're doing anything right now, but I wanted, if we could hang out for just a minute, I want you to see Danny's hand is.
Oh, yeah. I saw it a second ago. He had it up.
Yeah.
He's tatted up.
Damn.
He's probably full body. He's in the Yakuza.
Was it? That was weird. I don't know what. I don't know.
It was definitely, I don't know, him. The whole thing was weird. It really was.
Yeah.
There was a lot more moving pieces to that than we were first privy to.
The JCPenney's kind of funny and a little bit of a what? Oh, this is a new one. Awesome. My private photo here, sexfind.info.
Yeah, but can you, that's not good. Don't do that. Don't nobody talk to them. Don't do that.
That's a new one though.
That is new.
Anyways, appreciate you guys hanging out for We Got a Case. Don't forget we're gonna come back here in a few minutes. So get ready. Jump off of here and jump back on because if we're gonna do it video, we're still doing it live.
And it's not gonna be anything long. We're gonna basically go over a case that's currently in the courtrooms. We're gonna break down, we're gonna give you the crime, we're gonna give you what happened in the courtroom, and then we're gonna give you guys a rundown of what happened after the we'll say the courtroom chaos happened.
And Texas Tim, I hope that it's all in small bills as well, like they said his was.
I know, it's just like piled up money. Dude's making so much money, he's just piling it everywhere.
Hell yeah, they buy a lot of drugs there at the JCPenney, I guess. And by the way,
so.
yes, his glasses annoy the living crap out of me as well. You're not the only one. All right, so we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Of course, 405 East, Thirsty Thursdays on tap for today.
Yeah, we'll be right back with your something we're going to try. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully everybody will come back for that. And until the next time, everybody, please remember to have your pet spayed and neutered.
By the way, Farmer Chad and Nancy, thank you for the monetary monorail. And by the way, that closing,
no, it's been done, I feel like.
Yeah, kind of like